So you don't want to talk about politics. And why is that? I hear this all the time where we'll get into chats or we'll be talking about doing videos and people will say, yeah, I really need to stay away from, politics and religion. And why is that? Who has got us to this point where we feel like our speech must be suppressed or oppressed? It's it's kind of a. I have several theories about this. It kind of sort of blends in with another thing, about politics, and that's the importance of voting. And and the reason I bring this up is because I get these comments all the time in my videos. Voting doesn't count. Your vote doesn't count. It's rigged. It's predetermined who's going to win. And I'm probably going to try to do a video. Nobody may watch it, but I'm going to make one anyway. And I'm just going to show a bunch of research that I've done on this issue. And it's simple enough, actually. If you think about it, if voting doesn't work, why is there so much voter fraud? If voting doesn't work, why is the federal government fighting states over voter ID laws? If they didn't care, if voting didn't work, why would there be so many dead people voting? And why would unions be hauling busloads of people around to different precincts to vote? I keep up with this, so after every election it takes a while for these things to bleed out, but you will see stories all the time of voter fraud. And if voting didn't matter, if your vote didn't matter, then there would be no reason for any of that. There just wouldn't be. And so, and if there was some if there was some cabal who predetermines elections, people wouldn't really even bother going to the polls. People wouldn't bother even committing fraud, voter fraud. So, anyway, I think the closer that we get, and it's funny because you see this a lot in the gun community. They are so afraid to talk about politics that, and it's the one subject. It's the one sort of category where it needs to be talked about the most. Of all of our constitutional rights, the Second Amendment gets beat up on the most and gets misinterpreted the most. So to say you're not going to talk about politics, it's like handing it to people who are trying to oppress the vote. You're handing them a gift. When you remain quiet, they win. They're in effect suppressing the vote because they know that if we talk about these issues and we talk about candidates and we talk about who are the candidates who will best vote in our interest, who are they, what all these issues that come up during these elections that affect us. If we talk about them, then people are going to become educated in their local. And see, this is the problem. All politics are local. And so if we aren't encouraging people in the gun community to seek out candidates now or develop candidates now, really it's too late. I've been preaching this for 2 years. It's not too late. It seems, the closer you get to the midterm elections, people have to qualify. They have to pick up papers. They have to register. I mean, there's all these things you have to do to become a candidate. But, you know, all of these things need to be talked about and hashed out. And, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. The only thing I can think of, honestly, is that the people who don't want to talk about it are the people who don't want to hear, who don't want to think about the fact that they're going to get their butts whipped this November. That's the only thing I can think of, because it's probably going to be worse for the Democrats than in 2010 when we swept the House. I'm pretty sure we're going to take the Senate too this time. So, and that's encouraging, and that should give us more. That should feed us. You know, we should be happy about the thought of that, and we should feed off of that, and we should talk about politics in the one community when it matters the most, that nobody wants to talk about it. So anyway, I want to encourage people to make political videos. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make more political videos. Let's talk about our views. I might break out the old matrix that I did. If you search my videos, you'll see I did a matrix. If you didn't, I made it for people who didn't understand the political parties and what their stances and what their platforms were. And you basically just go down and you look at each issue and you check the box, and it kind of shows you over 30 or 40 issues. You start to see where you fall, where you lie, and I may have to get that out again. I don't know, because honestly, we have a lot of gun-loving liberals in the gun community, and I think they're the main ones who would love to see the vote suppressed on our side. So that's just my opinion. That's what you get into when you start talking politics, opinions. So anyway, I might have a hangout tonight. I know this is a boring subject, but I may jibber jabber about it a while. If anybody wants to, let me know. Thanks, guys.